Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Donkey Kong Country 3. I am Mega400, and in this episode, we will be doing Kreeping Klasps. Clasps. I'm not gonna be able to pronounce that. This level's not that hard, but we are introduced to a new enemy that can make it a little difficult if you don't have good, I guess, timing skills. And we have that Nibbler at the bottom of the screen too. He'll be following us, so we can't jump in the water. These are clasps. They're basically they're like Nakas. I think the names are Naka. They're like Nakas, except for instead of being green barrels that walk in or try and run into you and knock you off the stage, they grab onto ropes, obviously, and they're TNT barrels. So if you run into them, you will lose a Kong. So yeah, they are crumblings. A lot of people, I guess, don't think they're crumblings. They're actually crumblings. They're hidden inside the barrel fully, and then they have the painted face on the barrel. I guess they're cousins of the ones from Donkey Kong Country 2. They're not the same enemies. They have different names. But then again, neither are the like Crimp is basically the claptrap of this game. Crimp is that little purple guy. I think he's the toughest of all the claptrap-like enemies. The first one from DKC being very skimpy and wimpy looking. The second one being a little bit tougher, but this one's like purple muscle, like steroids. Anyway, this is a pretty easy stage. Again, it might be the last. I think I said this in my last playthrough. It might be the last boardwalk stage, but it might be. Yeah, I think it might be. So this might be the last boardwalk stage, which is sad because this is pretty. I like the music that plays here. It's a lot of people, again, I compare the Game Boy Advance version because that whole soundtrack of the GBA version it's so disappointing because they basically took all the moods that were like in this mood for this is very, you know, happy-go-lucky, and basically what David Wise did when he composed the GBA soundtrack is took all the moods for that were in this game and made them the opposite. So like you know, the tree song, instead of being very serious and kind of, you know, epic sounding, it's now happy-go-lucky. This one is now serious and kind of, you know, somewhat epic sounding. And I don't know. I'm not even a big fan of the soundtrack, but like the whole level, the moods that were made with this music, they fit perfectly in my opinion. And by making them the opposite, they don't seem like they fit at all in my opinion. Next, we're gonna do Trekker Bell Trek. And this one can be a pain. It's not really even that hard. It's just it can be a pain. Mostly because I had to do this level 3 times. Because of the coin in this level is a one-shot. Sometimes there's a one-shot only coin, meaning that if you mess up, you have to do the whole level again because you only get one steel keg. Again, we have Crumples. Only Kiddy Kong can defeat the Crumples, so don't try using Dixie on her. I mean, you'll live if you use Dixie, but you gotta be careful. And then the Bristles, these are the porcupines. I never liked the bristles. I usually just jump over them. You can, like I showed, you can run into them with like Dixie's little, I guess, twirl or Kitty's roll. But I usually just dodge them. Hey, we have a bonus barrel. So Galaxy 2 is coming out tomorrow, for anyone who didn't know that already. And I'm really pumped. I'm gonna try and get it tomorrow, and I'm really looking forward to it. If you've seen any of the reviews that come out now, they've all basically said, oh, this game is great. It's a 10 out of 10, a lot of 10 out of 10. I think the overall rating right now is 97, which I think is equal to what Galaxy was, but I can't remember. I think it is, though, but I don't know. Either way, it's being really highly rated, and a lot of the reviews are saying it's taken everything that Galaxy had and improved upon it, and it's fantastic. And I've also, there was music from the game that was uploaded. I don't know necessarily if it was, I don't think it was legit, but whatever way. Yeah, I messed up that, and I made it, like, I just screwed up entirely, so I just cut that out. If you go to the left there's actually a blue, blue balloon, those are worth 3 extra life, I believe. And if you go to the left, use Dixie's twirl is probably the best way to do that. And yeah, you can suck up the water from the waterfalls as long as you're behind them. So you can, or I think maybe if you're in front of them too, I don't know. But yeah, you can use that with Ellie to take care of a lot of the bees in this level. But someone uploaded the music to Galaxy 2, and it's just so... Galaxy's soundtrack was so impressive, and a lot of the songs were just really amazing, and I'd almost have to say that Galaxy 2, just the songs I've listened to, and there's, you know, quite a few, it's just fantastic. They've just made it so much... The soundtrack is better than Galaxy's. And it's hard to top because Galaxy's was really good. Mostly, like, I listened to the Bowser battle, and, you know, again, you could say musical spoilers, but really, not totally. I mean, the thing is, you can't fully experience the song until you've played the game in the level, because that does make a difference. I mean, you can listen to a song and say, this sounds great, but if it doesn't fit the level, again, like what I was saying with the whole Donkey Kong Country 3 Game Boy Advance thing, the song may be decent, but if it's not fitting the level, it's not fulfilling the purpose it was meant to be served for. It might be a nice tune, but it's not fitting to the environment. It's not fitting to, you know, again, to how the level looks. You know, when you compose music for movies, a lot of times, like, again, I think I've done this right before, but I'm gonna do it again because it's still a good one. Because, you know, you've had people, in movies you compose to, you know, certain scenes and stuff, or certain, you know, action stuff. With games, you can't really do that. You can only compose to the environments that are going on. You know, like with movies, if it's a dramatic scene that's happening, or an action scene, you play, like, an action-y song, and, you know, this is, Ellie becomes the steel keg. You don't want to use Kiddy here. Well, you could use Kiddy, but what you want to do is not do what I'm doing here. As you see, you want to go up on the top, throw it, and then run across, and here he's dead. But yeah, unlike with movies where you compose to a scene, in games composers compose to, at least I would hope most of them do. I don't think most of them just sit down and say, I'm going to compose this song and hopefully it will fit. No, they compose to the environments that are going on, and also what you're doing in each thing. Like with like fast-paced racing sections, I assume they'd also take that in mind as well. But you can't always do that. Like you can have a song, you know, like in this game, there's songs that are made for, like, fast-paced scenes, and there's several of them, so they just use it over again. But you still need to pay attention to what's going on. You need to have it fit. So you really can't fully experience the music until you see it in the game. You know, that makes a difference. So I can't really judge the game's music 100%. I can say it's good music, but I can't judge it until I see it in action while playing the game. And here is probably the easiest bonus level in the entire game. Yeah. Well, there's probably other ones that are easy, but this one's really easy. Yeah, the music really, you need to see it in action, because it really, the level and the whole impact, it goes together. And, like, people say, oh, bad music doesn't make a bad game. No, it does, though, because if you have to turn down your TV because you don't like the music and you still play the game just to play the game, you're missing out on almost, I'd say, maybe not in terms of game, maybe not half, but I'd say almost, sound is a big part. I mean, in animation, and this is one of my professors has said, that sound makes up about half your animation. And it's true. You play an animation without any sound, it's an entirely different sensation than if you play an animation with sound. And watch this scene without the music that's playing here. Play this game, play Donkey Kong Country 3, play the water level without this music. It's missing something if you don't have the music here. Again, I don't think it's as big. I don't think it's nearly as important as, like, an animation. And I'm not talking about just dialogue. You could have just dialogue boxes. The sound really does make up a big part. It changes how things work. I mean, get rid of the sound effects, get rid of all the music that's going on in this game, and it's missing something. And people say graphics are more, graphics are important. Music is so much more important to a game, in my opinion, because, again, it makes up such a big part. You take away the music, you take away the sound, and you're missing a good portion of your game. Now, anyway, this level is fish food. I think fish. Yeah, fish food frenzy. Again, the main thing about this level is you have a Nibbler, that little fish, following you. If he is bright blue, he's happy. He's a good little fish. He'll follow you. He'll be your pet. He's like an animal buddy. If he is purple, he is slowly going to start becoming bad. When he is pale red, you gotta feed him fast. And when he's bright red, he's going to attack you. So if you feed him the urchins, or that might not be their name, but I don't have time to look at them. Look it up real quick. If you feed them, maybe lurchin, he'll actually become more red. If you feed him the fish, he'll become blue, and over time he'll just slowly become red. But I'm not gonna be able to finish this level. I'm gonna get to the bonus level because of time constraints and YouTube time limits. So next time we'll finish off this level. This has been Make 400, reminding you to